What is up, everybody? Welcome to Speak Now Pro Wrestling. It is Wednesday, April 2nd, and today's AEW Dynamite was the go home show into AEW Dynasty, which is happening this Sunday. Reg, OG Reg, I brought it back. How are
Let's
you?
go. It's your favorite rapper, your favorite writer, your favorite podcaster, OG Reg, Media Man. I am back. This was a show. We talked a lot during the watch along about excitement coming into this pay-per-view, how people are feeling, and we've seen some pretty hot go home shows, Denise, I think, in our watch along time. And I wouldn't put this one on the list. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no,
You
I do
know?
feel bad about that because, AEW Dynasty, it has 8 matches on the card. And prior to today, to be honest, the only ones I could remember were the Triple Threat and Moxley and Swerve.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, shit, why don't I remember like some of the other matches? And then closely followed by Tony and Megan Bayne. But it is one of those things where I do feel like this pay-per-view, like the match card, is going to deliver. But I
Of
think this is
course.
one of those that is going to be better after the fact than I think going into the actual show. Only because there's really only a couple of matches there that I think are really calling my name into particular. This to me is like I really just cannot wait for that AEW International Championship. But Reg, I will say this though. Prior to tonight, I was going into this match with Jon Moxley and Swerve, expecting to see Jon Moxley go in and retain his AEW World Championship.
Mm-hmm.
Based off of the events that we saw unfold here today, I'm second guessing myself. I'm now wondering if Swerve is going to take that AEW World Championship from him. Now, from the very beginning, I've been saying that Swerve should be taking the AEW Championship away from Jon Moxley, but I just didn't feel like they were actually going to do that, right? Should and
Right.
would do totally different things. And so they did a really good job of at least making me second guess myself to where I'm not so positive that I know who's coming out a world champion at the end of Dynasty.
Yeah, I think that was like, if we could say one good positive thing, I think coming out of this go home show is most people were kind of under that impression too. I think Denise, we thought Moxie was just going to come in here, do his thing, win this match on Sunday and move on. But like wrestling tropes and wrestling history shows us, if the guy gets over on the go home show and he feels like the one that's gonna win the match, history shows that the other guy needs to get his comeuppance. We saw some things happening tonight that's like, well, Swerve has to do something on Sunday because, like, if all this happened on this show and this leading up to this, and then Moxley just beats him, how does that make Swerve look? So we're now into that territory, Denise, of like, he has to look like something coming out of this because if he goes, loses the championship, then what comes out of this? I think there's a lot of stories being built with Hangman. There's some good stories being told in this, and tonight has also changed my mind because I was like, probably going to be Mox thing, but like they're making it look like they're putting something behind Swerve, like he's going to be like the hero that comes and saves all of us. I hope that's where it's leading to, but also you just never know. I thought that there are some people that could play a role in this, like Jay White. I thought could play a role, but he's out now, so there's some new questions that I think need to be answered.
Yeah, definitely. So let's talk about what those things are, though, because that puts some doubt into some of those people's minds, including myself, of which they thought Jon Moxley was winning. And there was two really big things. So we did kick off the night with a match between, it was a mixed tag team match. And we did see some intergender wrestling in that too. So that's like a whole other topic. But we did see Swerve Strickland team up with Willow to take on Marina Shafir and Jon Moxley. And during this, we saw a moment where Swerve accidentally ends up kicking Marina Shafir in the face. And then we end up freaking seeing Jon Moxley take out Willow. And I'm like, wait, what? Like, we're
Mm-hmm.
actually seeing this unfold right now. And Jon Moxley, dude, he got so much heat for that. It was great to see. That was the first thing, right? The thing that I had said was, okay, now with Swerve, it feels like when they showed Willow, it looked like she had been dead already. Like it looked like she was killed after this, right? And they
Right.
show her in the back and she's face down, she's not moving. So clearly there's a lot of question marks around Willow's health, right? After that. And so, with that being said, now I was thinking during this, well, shit, it's going to look really bad if Swerve, who is her friend, doesn't get revenge for Willow Nightingale. He
Right.
get revenge for her, right? And I even said, like, as a man, like, now you kind of have that on you. And I hate to say it, but he does, though, Reg. Like, he's got to go in there and have her back and get her some revenge. And then, like, avenge her. And then on top of that, at the ending of the show, when we closed out with Claudio and Adam Copeland, we ended up seeing an attack from the Death Riders on Swerve. There was a whole fight backstage that led into the outside of the ring, and they ended up putting him through glass 2 times in the back and also out in the ring. So now Swerve also has to get revenge for himself.
Yeah, I think like with the Willow thing, first of all, there was a lot more intergender wrestling action than I had expected, and what I think we've previously seen in AEW. Like, there was moments where Willow's drop kicking Moxley, Marina's in there with Swerve. Like, they're really like doing real things and interacting with each other. And that Marina knocking Mox out the way and catching that house call right flush perfectly as you can get, unbelievable moment, I think, in the night. Then Willow making Mox crash through and Mox getting revenge. I think that established like they're adding something extra to this heavyweight title match. They're adding something more than just like Swerve needs to beat him to become world champion. Like, now, yeah, he needs to beat him to become world champion, but now he also needs to avenge all these things like Willow and getting put through glass. Um, there's still a part of me that's like, I don't know if there's enough story that's been told to that's the reason that Mox's thing ends. Like, is there enough like after everything that the Death Riders and Mox have done, is this the big thing that stops all of this? And I don't know if Swerve or the story has done enough to warrant that. You know what I mean? Like, at the end, like, I think we'll all celebrate Swerve because he's been in a great position. But is this the big comeuppance that Jon Moxley's been waiting for?
I don't know, because here's the thing, like, what the big show that we're headed into is All In, right? And I know,
Mhm.
of course, the Double or Nothing is still before that, right? I forget what date Double or Nothing is, but what the big show that we're heading into, though, is All In. And you know that they're going to put their very best matches. With that being said, we are going to kind of intertwine this because we got the brackets for the Owen Hart tournament. And we know that the winner of the tournament ends up getting a title shot. So with that being said, let me see if I got the right bracket here. No, I don't. This is the bracket right here, right now for the men's Owen.
Yep.
And so looking at this, there are so many different scenarios. All right. Let's say Jon Moxley retains. All right. I could see I could see that being a moment for Will Ospreay and Jon Moxley. If
Mhm.
Swerve wins, I think there's an opportunity to run back Swerve and Hangman,
Yep.
or run back Swerve and Will Ospreay.
Yes.
So, which outcome do you think is the best? Because if we were to see Hangman Page win the AEW title once again, I think a lot of people would be down for that because he is such an intriguing character right now. But if Will Ospreay were to win his first ever AEW World Championship, which, let's be real, is long overdue, that's another thing that could happen. Those are, to me, the two biggest things right now on the men's side that can happen for All In.
I think that's what most people's idea, even before seeing these brackets, just with both of them announcing that they're going to be in the tournament. The heavy favorites were both Will Ospreay and Hangman Adam Page. I think most people are like, well, leading to what AEW is going to be for the rest of this time, who's going to defeat Moxley before even announcing that they're going to be in this. A lot of people are like these two guys. So I think having them both in there on either sides of the bracket, it could lead to the finals being those two guys against each other. The perfect way to go. And I think what most people would want out of this AEW title division. Now, like you said, it could go either way. It could be Swerve in both of those positions. I think against either of those guys would make a lot of sense. You're running back something. You got a lot of story. You got a lot of backstory. But then, contrary on the other side, with Moxley running it, if Will Ospreay's on the other side of Moxley, and we feel like he's going to be the one to beat Jon Moxley, I think with what I was saying up earlier and getting to come up and by the time they tell all this story, that could be the way to go. Hangman, I feel like sits in the same position though too, because I think with this Swerve stuff and he's having a change of heart and he's moving into this, and by the time we do get to All In, I think he's going to be red hot. So I don't know, Denise. So they could go either way with this, but I'm still kind of leaning to they're going to let Moxley retain. Something deep inside of me is not feeling right about the outcome of this match. So
Here's the thing. All right, have they said when the finals are happening? Did they say that already?
No, they
Or
didn't say when the finals are
because
happening.
I'm wondering if they're gonna do the finals at Double or Nothing.
They could. Yeah.
Because think about it. Double or Nothing finals. Because look at this bracket. Okay, Will Ospreay's I'm sorry, he's definitely defeating Kevin Knight. And by the way,
Of
that match is
course.
happening at Dynasty.
Yes.
Brody King and Konosuke Takeshita. That's the only match that I can see going in any direction. I'm gonna assume though that Konosuke Takeshita is taking that win. So Will Ospreay and Konosuke Takeshita in the semifinals
Hot.
on the left side of the bracket. Do you agree or disagree on the left side, Reg?
Yeah, no, I'm with you. I think it'll be Takeshita and Ospreay on that side.
Okay. So then on the right side, assuming Kyle Fletcher goes over on Mark Briscoe,
Yep.
and then Hangman Page, that's the thing. We don't know who the wild card is. The only other option that I threw out
Doesn't
there is
matter.
Josh Alexander. Regardless, whoever it is, it's still going to be Hangman Adam Page. So
Yeah.
Kyle Fletcher, Hangman Adam Page with Hangman going over, I believe.
Yes.
And I think we're going to end up seeing Will Ospreay and Hangman Page. That is probably going to be your like top build match for Double or Nothing, right?
Yeah.
Oh my God, we're so stupid, Reg. We need to put our glasses on. It says
Right there in the
Double or Nothing,
screen.
right dead in the fucking center. Oh my
Wonder
gosh.
when they're gonna have this match. Oh, just right
We're
here, Double or Nothing
stupid.
tournament final.
We need to go back to school.
Yeah, I think those
I
are.
thought I was brilliant for piecing that together.
You're like, I wonder if it's gonna be this. I'm definitely not reading from this graphic right now. But yeah, I think if that's the top build match going into this summer, we're gonna have a good idea on the future of the AEW World Championship. So I think that's exactly how it's gonna go. We'll see Ospreay and Hangman in the finals at Double or Nothing, going into All In very soon after that. I don't know what. There's still so many months I feel that you could do with Jon Moxley. Like, who are going to be the couple of contenders leading into that? If we're going to know the big match for All In, like, how do we continue the Mox story leading up there is my question.
I don't know, but I'm sold on Will and Hangman, by the way, for that Double or Nothing match. Will and Hangman, that's freaking money.
Who could the wild card really be, though? Like I was saying, you mentioned Josh Alexander earlier, but I'm like, do you want him to come in off a loss, or does that matter?
Josh Alexander is a great wrestler. I'm there to watch him wrestle. I don't mind it if he loses in his first match.
If he has a banger with Hangman,
it's Hangman.
Mm-hmm. I hear you.
I don't know who else could be the wild card. I have like zero predictions.
I don't know, cause like there's nobody like sitting in the wings. I'm like, oh yeah, this person. So I don't know.
I don't
For
know.
the Owen too, like it's kind of a coveted spot. Could be anybody. Not anybody, but it could be somebody good.
Maybe it'll be Jeff Jarrett.
I've seen a lot of people being like, they should put Jeff in for blah blah blah. Great story to tell last year.
Last year too.
Oh yeah.
And there were people that were like, Jeff should win because of the promo that he cut, which was not the promo, the vignette that they did, which was great, by the way, but still.
That's right.
I
forgot
oh my
about
gosh,
that.
doesn't that feel like a totally different time from now? And that wasn't even that long ago.
It wasn't even a year ago, and it feels like 5 years ago.
Darby Allin says Marcus M. I don't think Darby is going to be back in time for that.
They didn't announce him for this. He doesn't have any. Like, I feel like they would have said something.
I think he's climbing Mount Everest April 15th. Is he not?
I don't know what the date is.
I believe that's the date that he had given me in our interview.
That's
April
very
15th,
soon.
I think. I know. I wish I didn't remember that, to be honest.
That's in a couple weeks.
Yeah. I almost don't want to, like, please, like, no one, like, whenever it's, like, out there, like, do not remind me, please. I rather just not know.
I mean, there is a wild card spot. There is a world where he could be that wild card spot.
Dude.
There is a world.
Like, I mean, sure. And if he loses, it's going to be like, fine. You can argue, hey, he just climbed Mount Everest. He's not 100%, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
I don't think so, because no, that's not true, Reg. It takes 3 months to climb Mount Everest. If he's going in April, that's April, May, June.
Oh, right. So he's not even going to be involved. He's
no,
out of here.
No, I don't think Darby's going to. No, he's going to be doing something totally different.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know who this wild card could be then, because Jay White is off the table. Darby's off the table. Those are two people.
Jeroy J says Gabe Kidd feels like a possibility. I actually can see that happening. I
could see some representation from New Japan. That does make a lot of sense. Okay. Yeah, no, I'm with you. I think that one could be good. But again, Hangman's gonna beat that person
I think it should be Josh Alexander.
if it's somebody.
Yeah, I'm sold on that. I'm sold on that.
Yeah, because I'm not really one of those wins and losses guys. Like, I think it'll be fine.
All right. So with that being said, there's just a lot of different scenarios. So I feel like where we end up with, see, that's the thing though. If Jon Moxley defeats Swerve, I don't want to see Jon Moxley versus Hangman or Jon Moxley versus Will.
You don't want to see either one of them though.
No, not at all. In
Yeah, because I wanna see Osprey against somebody else. Yeah, you're right. I don't want
if
that
it's
big match to be
Osprey's
Moxley.
if it's Osprey's big moment where he's winning the AEW World Championship, I kind of want it to be with somebody else because of the caliber of match.
Yes.
I think would be a lot stronger
Like
with a different kind of opponents.
winning that title off of Will Osprey, one of those ones where we're talking about it for years, makes more sense than doing like a plunder fucking Death Riders match, you know? So
Right. That's what
I
I'm
don't, yeah,
saying.
yeah, I definitely hear you
But
on
then
that.
again, it's Will Ospreay and he can have a great match with anybody. So
But I feel like Swerve going in as champion and Hangman beating him for the belt at All In is a sick story too. Like that might should be it. So
damn,
you know,
Swerve losing the title 2 times at All In back to back though. Yo, he's gonna be like cursed at All
it's
In.
a story. It's a good story to tell.
What? I always lose at All In. Somebody else is kind of messed up.
But I get there with the championship. I'm the champion at the time. I don't know. I just
Uh,
want Swerve to win,
yeah.
and I don't know. I don't know, man.
All right. Well, let's see what the people are saying because this is kind of one that honestly the direction doesn't seem clear cut, at least not to me.
Right.
So let's see where everyone is on all of this. Let's see. We got a
Like I
couple of
guess it's
super
good you
chats.
can have a couple of different outcomes. We're not just like this is exactly what it's gonna be.
True that. All right, we got Alexander Fitzgerald who says, I've seen enough of the story writes itself. Okay. Hangman versus Swerve for the title at All In Texas is a must. Perfect way to end their rivalry.
I'm telling you.
Look.
What the
Okay. Hear me out. There is a world though where Hangman and Swerve could still happen at All In, but without the title though, unfortunately.
I think like the aesthetics of the show, the buckles, the fucking All In thing, like this feels like Hangman should be in the main event. Like if you just look at it
Yeah.
as
Oh, like yeah, with this
aesthetically,
aesthetic.
like
Yeah.
it feels like this is Hangman shows to be in the main event of. If any of these guys, you know?
Yeah.
And like Swerve and him, they're building it right now. It makes a lot of sense. But what place does Moxley and Hangman switch? That's even lower than Moxley and Osprey for you.
Yeah.
I kind of feel that too. Yeah.
Yeah. And
Right.
by the way, the latest with Swerve and Hangman is also a huge piece to the puzzle because they got into it in the back and they were kind of like saying, like, oh, well, you did this to me, you did that to me. And Hangman's like, you broke into my house. And he's like, you set my house on fire. And then Hangman goes, you deserved it. And Swerve says, I know.
Mm-hmm.
What? Swerve finally acknowledging what, by the way, I sat here and argued with you for weeks and hours on end that Hangman was right. People for weeks after were sending freaking carrying signs to AEW saying Hangman did nothing wrong. And now Swerve just won my argument for me, Will. I mean, so sorry, Reg. Sorry,
I
I know.
I mean, we are talking about Swerve and Hangman, Will Washington somewhere in the
Will
lexicon.
Washington, Will
He's somewhere there.
Ospreay.
But yeah, no, I totally am with you. Swerve did admit that he was wrong. He was wrong. He went into a man's house with his baby and all that. But like they keep adding little pieces to the puzzle of the Swerve and Hangman, and it's making us like how Alexander Fitzgerald is saying here, making us just want that match so much. It's like, well, you guys can keep telling us the promo for All In felt like you guys were saying this could be the match. It's like you guys are writing this story, and it feels like this is a way to end it. There's a world where it can happen. Yeah.
Does it need the championship, you feel, this fourth
Yes.
one?
Because of the match, what we've already gotten with the matches and the violence and all that. I think the next match doesn't need to be a stipulation match. It just needs to be a world title match and let these two guys prove who's the fucking best, and that's the way to do it, you know?
Right, right. Okay, okay. Thank you, Alexander Fitzgerald. We got Alexander also says, pinch me, is this a nightmare? Jay White is hurt. I feel so freaking bad for Jay White. I don't know, and I don't think I don't know exactly like what is going on in terms of I feel like it just hasn't hit for Jay White on AEW. We've constantly talked about this so many times where we're like, the storytelling hasn't been there. They're not pushing him the way that we thought that he was going to be pushed. And now, he was out injured before. He's out injured again. I don't know how long he's going to be injured for. I don't know how long he's going to be out for, but he is expected to undergo surgery. It says here that the actual injury and severity and his timetable for a return is not known yet. It's a fucking bummer, man. Like, this is the guy that I thought when he went to AEW was gonna be that guy. And it's not happening right now.
Is people are gonna try to place blame, and I don't like. Is this anybody's fault though?
No, injury-wise,
You
I mean,
know,
of course, we don't know how he got injured or what exactly happened, but, like, injury-wise, we can't place any blame because that's just the name
but
of the game.
even beyond that, let's say that he just
Booking-wise, it just hasn't been
let's
there.
say that he's been healthy this whole time. Were you gonna put is was he
He
gonna
was
be put?
Adam Copeland's sidekick, Reg. Why? Did we ever even get a reason as to why?
I'm just talking about like.
I mean, he went from like literally, they ended up being sorry, Reg. I don't mean to cut you
No, you're
off,
good.
but like
No, you're good.
they literally went from Jay White wanting Jon Moxley and wanting the championship to taking a step back for Adam Copeland to get his opportunities.
I'm talking about pecking order. I think was there ever a world, even without Adam Copeland, where Jay White was going to be the guy?
Well, they never gave us an opportunity. I think when he came in, he could have been, but all this stuff with the Bang Bang Gang, it was just not
I
the
think he
thing.
can
The
eventually.
feud with MJF, like that one didn't go the way you thought it would
I
have.
think he can be the guy eventually, but like pecking order and what was to be, I don't think they were gonna be like he wasn't gonna be slotted over the top guys,
But it's because
regardless
they
of what
put him in
happened.
freaking matches with Billy Gunn.
I know, regardless of anything, like say everything went right. 100 if he came in and they did everything right, he still wasn't going to be slotted over
I
Osprey, over
disagree.
Takeshita, over
I
Fletcher.
disagree.
I don't think so ever.
I think he would have been over, obviously not over Will Ospreay, but he would have been still perceived in that light because he was a name. Like he wasn't just a little nobody that came
I
into
agree.
AEW.
I love Jay White, and I think so. But I'm saying in the grand scheme of things, I
Okay,
don't
for
think he was going to be
example,
slotted over
okay,
any of those guys.
okay, for example, when Ricochet came in, were we expecting him to be slotted where he's slotted right now?
Yeah.
I didn't expect that.
I mean, if they gave him the opportunity, but I don't. What I'm saying is, I think I think Ricochet is slotted exactly where he's going to be. Like he wasn't going to be world champion. He wasn't going to be the top guy. He's slotted exactly where he's going to be. Like I think
Okay,
there's just people that are going to land in certain places because of the pecking order. You know
to
what I
a
mean?
certain degree for certain people, but not for everybody. I do think that if JY would when he came in and everything went right and all the stars aligned and the booking and everything and the stories and everything just hit, I do think we would be talking about Jay White in these big main event spots.
I'm saying we should, but I'm saying I don't think AEW in their brain was ever like we're gonna book this guy as the top guy. Is what I'm saying. Like I'm like they're looking at pecking
Right. So then
order,
that's on
and they were like,
AEW though.
that's what
That's
I'm
not
saying.
on
Like we
him.
could talk about a whole other. That's what I'm like. Is there anybody to blame? I don't know if there's anybody to blame. I think everybody's being slotted where they were going to be slotted.
See,
Is what I'm
I
saying.
always see thing as like, look, if you come in and you freaking put on the matches and you put on and you do everything, especially if you come in with some sort of star power, right? You come in with some sort of star power and you do the work and you get over and you get like that. To me, I don't care where you were supposed to be slotted. If you're doing the work and you're getting over, then you should be where, you should be climbing up the top.
Definitely. Pecking order though. like Osprey, Hangman, Swerve. You got it. Like when you start going down the list, you're like, where does that guy really land? If he was
I
healthy
think
the
he
whole
could have been
time,
up there. Yes.
I don't think I'm saying yes, but I'm saying I don't think they think so. Is
I
what I'm saying. I
think
don't think they ever thought so. Like I'm like, if
I
everything would have
think
went
there's no
100%
way.
right, they wouldn't
There's
have slotted
no
him over
way.
Swerve, Osprey, Hangman. Like if pecking order, no matter what, he wasn't getting slotted
Reg,
over those guys.
okay, for example, when Swerve came in, prior to that, where was he at?
But
NXT. Where was Jay White at? What was Jay White doing?
I know.
So it's
I'm
not
saying
about where
yes.
he's come in.
I'm
So to
saying
me,
them
I'm
though.
seeing exactly. So if you're AEW and you're seeing, oh, this person came from here and this person came from here. Okay, if you were just to bring, let's just say the scenario, Swerve coming from NXT
Mhm.
and Jay White coming from New Japan, just based off of those two little things, you would probably be like, oh shit, like AW is probably going to see,
Jay
a lot
White.
of reason to push over and put Jay White over. So that's what I'm
Totally.
saying. To me, it doesn't matter. Swerve proved anybody wrong that it doesn't matter what you were doing before. It's what you do right here, right now. Who knows what I don't know what Tony Khan thought about when he brought in Swerve. I don't know what he was thinking. Did you think he would be thinking that down the road he would be doing Bryan Danielson versus Swerve Strickland at All In?
Yeah.
There's no way, Reg. He probably wasn't thinking that right in the
Just
beginning.
like we're getting deeper in the woods. Like when it comes to like ring the bell, Swerve's a better worker than Jay White is. So like that was gonna be what it was off rip. If they coming in both like who's the better wrestler, Swerve's a better wrestler. At the time, Jay White was better on the mic and a better character. But
They watered him down with the
if you're not
fucking
able to
bang,
show
bang,
that,
bang
then it
crap.
doesn't fucking matter, is what I'm saying.
Jay
But what
White
I'm
was one of
thinking
the
is
best
like,
heels for a good amount of time,
I
and they
think
watered that shit down.
the fact that they even made him in the Bang Bang Gang is why I'm saying all this. Like, if he was gonna be slotted to be the fucking man, they would have made him the man, is what I'm saying. Like the fact that they put him with the Bang Bang Gang and the fact that they put him in the situations is how they were gonna do it, is what I'm saying. I don't think
So
that should be
should
it at
Jay,
all. I
so
think
should
Jay
Jay White
White
have
should
gone
be.
to WWE instead?
That's another story for another day because I see a lot of people saying that, and no, dude, because like he would have just. We talk about like we were talking about fucking Hurt Syndicate earlier, and they put all the certain races together. This fool would have been in Judgment Day, and nobody would have gave a shit, dude. Like it's like there's levels to this. So I don't know.
This is an interesting topic. Like we
It
got
is.
really deep in the weeds
It
here.
is. It is.
Okay.
Big J
All
White
this
fan. I
to
hope he
say,
recovers well.
all this to say is we want Jay White on top.
That's a fact.
Notice how I said we, Reg. We. This is now a we thing.
I love Jay White, man. I don't say anything that I was saying to say I don't like Jay White. I think he should. I'm
No,
just saying
I
like
get what you're saying. I get
the
what you're
mind
saying, but
state.
I also don't fully believe it only because I don't think AW ever had a reason to be that way. To think
Totally.
that way. To think of him as an to be slotted in a lesser spot. I don't
And
think
I'm
that the work that Jay White did beforehand would justify AW to feel that way. And if they
mhm,
did, I don't know what they were thinking.
totally.
I mean, I don't agree with them putting like half the stuff that they've done with him and Jay White.
And
Don't
I'm
even
with you.
talking about that Billy Gunn match.
It's like regardless, Denise, like if the AEW is like we're pushing this guy and we're making him to that, everybody would have eventually got there. It's sometimes just gets back to like management and feeling like them feeling confident in Jay White. And I don't know if they felt confident in Jay White in some positions, like at least from what was presented, you know?
It was just like, oh my God. The Bang Bang Gang Club, whatever the hell it's called, it was a comedy act. It was only going to do so much. And it was fine
Right.
for what it was, right? The MJF stuff, it was ended up being her because it ended up being like a background to what he was doing with Adam Cole
Mm-hmm.
and then the devil and all of that. And so that kind of
It's
took away from
unfortunate.
that. It was just all bad timing. But remember when they did Jay White and Hangman, like that felt lit. Like that felt lit. And I felt like that thing ended too prematurely, to be honest.
Yeah,
So I don't know, man. It's a bummer. It's really a bummer.
it
But
is.
Alexander Fitzgerald, thank you so much for the super chat. Really got us going there. Marcus M here says Hangman will help Swerve in Dynasty, but beat Swerve at All In and drop the title to Will Ospreay at Forbidden Door. Okay, I do not think Hangman will help Swerve in Dynasty. And if he does, maybe it's accidental, but I don't think he should purposely help him.
Okay, Phil and I talked about this on Grapsity about the important role that Osprey is going to play in that London Forbidden Door show, which is another kind of thing on what we're talking about with this All In thing. Now I'm like, damn, because
Was
Osprey
it a
has to
dead
be.
giveaway that Will Ospreay is winning at the AEW World Title at All
I
In?
don't know,
Coming up in
because like
London?
Denise, wouldn't you? He has to be like either the champion or in the big match in Forbidden Door London, right? For the world title. So I'm like,
Yo, I've been so wrong on this. I thought it was gonna be like day one, Will Ospreay signs with AEW. Day two, he's champion.
me too, me too. Like I was like, for sure he's gonna come in. Like the second pay-per-view, he'll be world champion. Like I thought he'd already be a year champion by now, but like they're slow walking the dog. But if you're doing Forbidden Door in London, like he has to play a pivotal role in that,
Yeah, I think you're
right?
right on that. Oh, for sure. I don't understand why at this point it's just like, how do I say this? Like, this is the girl that you love and she's there and she's devoted. Marry her. That's how I
Mary,
feel
put a
about Will
ring on her,
Ospreay.
dude. Yeah, straight up. No, that's exactly how you say it. Put a ring on her. Like
Put
she's
a
giving
ring
you
on Will
everything.
Ospreay.
She's showing you that she's gonna be devoted. Put a fucking ring on her, dude. What are you doing?
Exactly that. Marry Will Ospreay. I'm dead. Marcus, thank you for the super chat. We got John Taylor here who says, I know Dynasty will deliver like AEW always delivers, but I'm somewhat lukewarm on AEW right now. If I'm being honest, give me a Swerve Hangman team up. No, I feel you, man. I feel you. I don't blame you on that. We got Grapple Geekery here who says Hanger doesn't need to have to be Swerve's friend to help him and balance their books. The way they can move on to other opponents for the foreseeable future. Right. That's what I'm saying. Like to me, Swerve literally just saying, oh, I know, and Hangman leaving, that could be enough to be like, all right, this is the pause on their feud. And that way they can, like you said, go on to different people.
Yeah, exactly. It could be like Swerve was trying to ensure that Hangman wasn't going to ruin his match this Sunday. Like he's like, what could I say to stop this fool from trying to ruin my life? Maybe if I admit that he was right, that'll help. That's what I think this is. But I don't think it was like he's admitting he was wrong so that Hangman could help him. But a lot of people are saying that might be the way, huh?
I don't know, man. Rafael Garcia here says Anthony Rafiq Khan. Is that his middle name?
I don't know.
I don't know Tony Khan's full name. Bro, I didn't even know he was Anthony until Tony Storm brought it up. She called him Anthony, and I was like, oh, yeah. Tony, Anthony. To me, he's just Tony Khan. Anyways, Anthony Rafiq Khan, you have one job. I will grind your bones to make bread if you fail. I don't even make bread, but I'll make sourdough. Don't PMO. PMO?
Don't piss me off.
Oh, okay. Rafael Garcia, what is it that you want so that
I'm thinking that he's saying that Swerve wins the championship this weekend. That's the thing.
Right.
Yeah.
There's going to be people down in the dumps if he doesn't win the title, by the way.
What do you think? How do they do it? I think, Denise, because like I think for the last one, we all knew that Christian was going to play a role. Like, how do you
have Swerve defeat Jon Moxley cleanly?
That's
Uno,
it.
dos, tres. I don't give. That's it.
Right.
Call it a day and have Swerve win. Right there.
It is right there, but that's way too easy.
Just grab it.
Way too easy for what they're gonna do.
We got Toby here who says, what's y'all's opinions on the Swerve Booker thing? I'm not up to date with that. Reg, is that something you'd like to discuss? Reg nods his head. Reg, we trained for this.
Oh, what am I supposed to say?
You're supposed to say, you know what? I don't really care about that. I'm interested in talking about other things. I don't want to waste my energy on that.
Okay. You know what? I don't really care about that. I'm interested in other things. I don't want to waste my energy on that. Thank you.
Reg, I feel like your mother.
You're my PR machine, Denise. You're just like, say this. And I'm like, yeah, that sounds good. Actually.
Dead. Toby, thank you for the super chat.
Thanks,
I'm not
Toby.
caught up on it. Reg doesn't want to waste his energy on that. But if you got a follow up, a different question, we'll still honor that. And you don't have to send it in a super chat. You can send it.
It's a lot. That's it, Toby. It's deep. It keeps getting deeper. There's stories developing by the minute, and like, it's too much.
We got X3 here says Reg breaking out the media training. By the way, I think I would be phenomenal at training people like how to like answer questions. Like legit.
At this point, you should try. That might be a side hustle.
And yeah, I'll be like, let's not stop. Okay, step one, you do see color.
That's a straight. First one, Paul. Don't say that. Step one.
I'm dead.
That should be step one, though. That's all I'm saying. Like, you can start there. That's it.
Oh man, that's gonna be less than one to everybody.
That's it. Just step one.
Oh,
Everybody.
I'm dead.
You
My
see it.
hands are sweating.
Oh shit, man. Damn. No, they don't need PR training over
The
there.
amount of times that we've had Crazy 101 send in a super chat about that, it is
I love it.
embedded in my head. All
It's
right.
so good.
With that being said, all right, can you please keep an eye out, by the way, for Toby's follow-up comment on that? Just I don't want to miss it. All right, we got Mike T90K here who says Jon Moxley retains a dynasty. Have a three-way with Mox, Hangman, and Swerve and Double or Nothing. Have Bryan Danielson return and cost Mox the title. Mox, Danielson, and Swerve Hangman for the title at All In. Okay, first of all, we cannot talk about Danielson right now.
Mike is spit. He's
Bryan-
like, put Brian in here.
Brian is, dealing with neck stuff. I mean, just no, we can't even bring him in here like in any case scenario right now. I cannot see that. And then the three-way at Double or Nothing. I mean, it's one of those things where if this is a date, you don't want a third wheel in it, and this would be Mox would be the third wheel in this date.
I was just thinking, post this match, what's the stories and how does it happen? If Swerve loses, he has nothing essentially. If Swerve loses, like he doesn't like if Mox loses, he could team up with somebody in his group. He still has Death Rider stuff. He still has some kind of attachment to something. If Swerve loses, he's not in the Owen. He does like he has no really connection to get back to All In. And I'm thinking like, what would be if it's not Hangman? What would be his big All In match if he's not in the world title match?
Who, Swerve?
Swerve.
Yeah,
because Mox, you could just do a triple threat match or a trios match.
I would have for Will Ospreay. Who would be like? Look at him at this match. Look at him for Dynasty. He doesn't. They did. Thankfully, they saved it by like, okay, this is an Owen match, an Owen Hart tournament match here with Kevin Knight, but this is not a big match for Will Ospreay. This could have happened on Dynamite.
I'm a big Kevin Knight fan. I love him.
Ospreay,
Reg. Yeah, it's Ospreay.
There are certain people that are just handled differently.
Without his last, like we talked about on the watch along, with the last year's match and for the whole year we talked about that match, you would think at Dynasty they were going to give something in that league or up to that caliber, but they're trying to tell the Owen Hart story, so I get it. But I also feel you. Like I think we should have like Dynasty should be the pay-per-view where we have the big Swerve match and the big Ospreay match and the big Mercedes match. Like the Dynasty of the company should be showcased like that. But maybe they're trying to tell us that's what Kevin Knight, like we should think about Kevin Knight like that.
We got Tenruza here who says Hangman Swerve is a Japanese promotion, wrestle and be romance. The chemistry is insane. So amazing. Dynasty will be lit going into a wild All In weekend. Yeah, I'm excited for All In.
I think it's going to be fun. I love that they announced that there's going to be a week. There's going to be stuff going on. They're having their own little what's coming up week. So it's exciting.
Yeah. Thank you, Tenruza. We got Christopher Marino who says, what if MJF gets Lashley in the Owen against Hangman to get on their good side and screw Hangman? Oh, so Bobby Lashley as the wild card.
Chris Marino is connecting dots here from what happened in this show. And that's not a bad idea, actually. Huh.
It's not.
That's pretty good.
And by the way, we still haven't gone really anywhere with the MJF Bobby Lashley situation. As Hart Syndicate, Lashley still doesn't want him in there. MJF still wants in. And there is going to be a tag team match with Lashley and Shelton versus Big Bill and Brian Keith.
Yeah, so what Chris is kind of elaborating on is Bobby was like, he wants MJF to prove that he could be down, essentially, like show them, like if you want to be with Hart Syndicate, show us why you're going to be in here. And MJF is like, you want me to show you? And so Chris is like, that thing could be he has Lashley as the wild card against Hangman, takes Hangman out, and kind of furthers along the story that they have going.
We got Young Jinx here. Thank you so much for the generous super chat. Says, I absolutely love your personality. Obviously, never met you before, but I feel like I can relate to you very much. You're my favorite wrestling streamer. Also, shouted to Reg for being a great co host. Name is pronounced
Jay
Jay
Nice.
Nice. I've been saying
Mhm.
Jinx this whole time. Wow. I'm so dumb. Oh my God. Jay.
Jinx.
And then I would have thought J New York City was my other
Right.
thought. I would have thought Jinx, J New York City, and then
Jay New
J
York
Nice.
City. Mhm.
Probably wouldn't have gotten to J Nice, honestly.
Jay Nice, young Jay Nice.
No, but seriously, speaking of nice, this was a very, very nice super chat, a very nice compliment. So thank you so much for that. And I really thank you for taking the time to watch the content. And I'm glad that you're enjoying it. So thank you, thank you. And I'm going to remember that. J Nice.
Thank you,
Not
Jay
J
Nice.
New York
Yeah.
City, not Jinx, or not Jinx.
Jay
Whatever
Nice.
else I've been saying.
Mhm.
I've been saying Young Jinx for a while now,
Young
too.
Jinx.
Like
He's
legit,
like, that
like
is not
legit.
my name.
That's not my name. That's not my name.
There you go.
Oh man. We got Alejandro Reyes here. Says, see, Reg, you were wrong. He deserved it. I
Yep.
effing told you
I
though.
was wrong. You're right, Alejandra. I was wrong. Cause I was like, no. But like hearing the little back and forth that they had and like hearing them say the things out loud, like Hangman's like, you broke into my house. And Sir's like, you burned down my house. Like hearing them say the things, I'm like, okay, maybe somebody did deserve it a little bit more. You know, I get it.
Reg, I told you.
So I'm admitting it too.
I'm justified right now. All right, we got Tenrusa here who says Tanahashi wildcard can take the loss set up at Forbidden Door. I'm gonna say no to this
No,
one. It's just
Tanahashi can't. Yeah, he's not prepared for this.
Well, Alejandro Reyes here says, enjoying your 2K vids. Will you do your 4 Women pod again? It's been a really long time that I've done that. I think right now it's probably not going to be coming back, but if I do decide, it'll probably be like a shake up version of that.
Mhm.
I have been wanting to add another podcast to the daily schedule. I mean, I would do anything to bring back After the Week. I've even thought about this, Reg, replacing Will and doing After the Week because I loved the format of that show. But I did promise Will that I would never bring it back with somebody else. So I'm kind of like, damn it, why did I make that promise?
Hater.
I know, but I think Will might feel bad if I replaced him.
So
What if I called it Not After the Week?
not after the week.
Not after the week, but yeah, it is.
No, do it on Monday and be like before the week, but you're just covering what last week was.
Wait, there's a show like that. There's a talk show like that. It's Last Week Today, right?
Oh yeah.
On Oliver, I think.
Yeah.
On Max. That's how I know. I've
Mhm,
seen it on
mhm,
there. I haven't seen the show, but I've seen the promotion for it.
mhm.
I don't know. Maybe Will won't be sad if I replace him with you.
Yeah, Will Washington, what's up?
I don't know.
Punk?
Remember I did share that story? Remember I told you?
Mhm.
I don't think I ever told Will that I told you though.
Oh
So
shit.
Will deadass said to me one time in the car, we were driving, and it was
I
like one of
can't
those
believe this.
1 hour car ride. So, like 1 hour deep into the conversation, like we were really having like all these topics about life and thing. And I brought up like, oh yeah, Reg is gonna stay the night for whatever time. It was the first time you ever stayed the night. And I'm like, oh, did Reg tell you? And he goes, no, Reg didn't tell me. And I was like, oh yeah, well, he is. And he goes, you better not replace me with Reg. Like dead ass fucking serious.
Who would
dude.
say
He
something
was
like
dead
that?
ass
Well,
serious.
he was so I know he was so serious too.
Serious. Super serious.
Sick
Said,
individual.
no, I won't. Sorry,
No.
Reg.
No, it's fine. It happened, but it's fine. It's whatever. It's fine.
That's what I'm saying. I don't think Will would be too thrilled about that.
It's all right.
We got Alexander Fitzgerald here who says maybe at Dynasty Swerve loses and is outnumbered by the Death Riders and Hangman helps Swerve at Double or Nothing. Swerve wins the title and Hangman wins the Owen. So maybe a Dynasty Swerve loses and is outnumbered by the Death Riders. I could see in a situation like that with Hangman coming out to help out Swerve after the fact, I could see that. I don't see it happening like during the match.
I don't think it's going to happen at Dynasty. Yeah, I kind of feel that could be like a post that story, but
at this point, we're coming off of AEW Revolution that had a lot of people being like, what the hell was that ending? And if we have another ending similar to that in back-to-back pay-per-views,
Yeah,
That's a question.
exactly.
Yeah,
Right.
exactly. Ten
Mhm.
Ruza here says TK got to capitalize on Jay White's return. Jay is lit. Yeah, when he comes back, I really hope so. Like, no more waiting around for things because then, injuries happen and whatnot.
Yeah,
Chris Ledeck
exactly.
here says, I'm not sure if Swerve wins or if he loses due to Willow Nightingale. If he wins, he should lose again at All In to Hangman. Sorry, Reg. Then Hangman loses it to MJF at World's End. I don't see MJF in the title picture right now. It seems like he's well, he has said actually, never mind. I take that back because he had says that he's interested in being in the title. I think I think I'm still waiting to see what is done with him and the Hurt Syndicate first before we get to the world title.
Yeah, I feel like he's going to get back, but I don't even know if it'll be this year. Like, I think that there's going to be some time to build. He's going to do some other things. I don't know if he'll get right back to it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, it feels like we'd be skipping a couple of steps too, especially
Right.
with, these stories that we're anticipating. If Hangman gets the title back again, or if Will Ospreay gets the title back again, because if Hangman or Will get the title back again, like, I'm going to be expecting a little bit of a run for those. So if
Yep.
MJF goes up against them, I'm not expecting MJF to like lose to them, but he probably would unless they were going to go back to MJF.
Yeah, and I don't think they're going to go back to MJF so soon. I think they're going to give those guys a run. They will go back to MJF though.
Thank you, Chris. We got Ten Bruiser here who says TK is wild for having that view of Jay White so wrong. That's what I'm saying. Like, that's why I don't think that it could be that he has that view. I can't justify it.
Yeah,
So
I'm
that's
not
why I don't
saying
think
that
so.
he has that. I'm just saying like
The
from the
booking, that's what the
booking
booking
and
tells me.
yeah, like what everything tells me and how I like look at the scope of everything. That's kind of how I feel it went.
Hey, we got Honey Drips in the building. Haven't seen you in a while. It says, hey, Denise and Reg, I hope you both have been doing well. Who are your picks to win the men's and women's Owen Hart Cup tournament? Much love. Okay, so we did spend some time talking about the men's. Let's
Yep.
talk about the women's here. So men's, we kind of basically alluded. It's either Hangman or Will.
Hmm.
But for the women, though, we need to get into that one. So for the women, we have Jamie Hayter and Billy Starks. I'm assuming Jamie's going over on that one. I
Yep.
think you disagreed earlier. Did you not, Will, Reg, or did you?
No, Jamie's definitely gonna go. I disagreed with. Oh, I think you said you don't know about Thunder and Chris, and I was like, I'm pretty sure it's gonna be Chris, though, right?
I don't know. I could. Well, if Jamie wins, well, is Chris the heel right
Oh, Jamie versus.
now? Because I would assume
But
they could
Jamie,
be
they're
both
both baby
heels.
faces, though, right? Because Thunder's
Who?
the baby face too.
Jamie's a baby face. Billy's a baby face. Thunder's a baby face. Chris Statlander is the question mark for me.
I think at this point she's also a baby face because
All right.
she got the thing back with Willow. Like she's in baby face territory.
So then I'm expecting the left side of the bracket to be Jamie Hayter and Thunder Rosa. What
Yes.
about you?
No.
Jamie and Chris?
Yes.
Okay. Then on the right side of the bracket, we're going to have Julia versus Mercedes. Clearly, Mercedes is going to go over on that.
Yeah.
Harley and Athena.
This one was much
Definitely,
easier. Like definitely
definitely
Athena.
Athena. Oh my
Mhm.
God, that means we're going to get
Mhm.
Mercedes. Oh, wait, no.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Mercedes.
Yes.
Yeah, Mercedes and Athena, but would that be a double or nothing? No, huh?
No, that's the finals. So we'd
Oh,
get
that would
that
be
before
so
then.
weird, though, not to
Mhm.
have that a double or nothing. So then
Mhm.
it would be Mercedes and
It's gonna be
Jamie?
Mercedes and I would think Jamie Hayter in the finals.
Right, and that would be a double or nothing.
Yeah. And
And
who's
that I'm
winning?
with you on that one. Yeah, I
Mercedes.
kinda feel the same way.
And Mercedes is going over.
Yeah,
I think
Mercedes goes
Mercedes
over,
is gonna
yes.
win this women's back bracket.
Yeah, I think so too, primarily because, like, she's doing the whole belt collector thing, so yeah.
Mhm.
Penny Drips, thank you so much for the super chat, and, yeah, that was a great question. Thank you so much for asking. And, all right, with that being said, let's get into the next one. We got Grapple Geekery here who says, "I'm saying he will help him to move on, though." Oh, okay,
Oh, to move on. Yeah. Me too. I agree with that. I think that is gonna be the way to further the story.
yeah. Ten Ruza says, "Don't media train the media man." Damn, Denise.
Listen, I'll be getting in trouble, Tenruza, with some of my little rants. I need to chill. I need some training.
You need training. We got Dove Coast here. Dove Cost, excuse me. Thank you so much for the super chat. Says first time super chat and huge fan of the Cali connection. Thank you so much, man. Says I'm going to Dynasty and was hoping for a bigger match for Will. However, I'm open minded. Can you guys hype me up for that Kevin Knight matchup? I'm gonna pass this task along to Reg because I think Reg is more interested in the match than I am. I'm out on this one.
Yeah, I think that they've been establishing who Kevin Knight is. He had a very great run in New Japan. He was a IWGP Junior Tag Team Champion twice with Kushida. He's one of those junior guys that can really fly. New Japan has a thing of when they train guys. He trained in the New Japan dojo, so like from scratch to up. The best thing about New Japan pro wrestlers are their matches need time. Like if you see a guy in a 10-minute match, you don't really get how they work because they take time to develop match, let the story build and all this. So having a match of Will Ospreay with some time and giving the opportunity, you'll see who Kevin Knight is. Really great flyer, really great on the mat, just cocky and confident, and all the kind of things that a young guy like this that AEW needs. It'll be a great match. It won't be the best Will Ospreay match ever because he doesn't have the opportunities and they won't give this match that amount of time like they would, but it's going to be a really great match. Kevin Knight's going to be the future of this company. In 5 years you'll be like, damn, Kevin Knight is one of those ones.
All right, I feel like you did a really good explanation of that. So I think like Dave here will actually maybe I think Dave now has been maybe persuade a little bit more. He even persuade me a little bit. I was like, oh, okay.
Kevin Knight, he's good.
All right. Well, thank you so much to Dave Cost for the super chat. It was very nice of you. So thank you so much. We got Ebony Prince in the building, DWO member for 16 months. Says Kelly Connection, love you guys. Denise, love your videos. Thank you so much. I'm keeping the daily videos going. It's slowly, you know what? I'm not even gonna say it's killing me.
It's
It kind
not.
of is, but I'm happier doing more.
Yes, exactly. When it's for you, like you're doing the content for your channel, for Denise, like it just hits a little harder.
Yeah, dude, I'm down to 2 jobs right now. So it's like now I'm really like focusing in on my
How
channel.
are
So
you coming up with the content ideas? Just fucking going for it?
literally the entire desk, you're not seeing it right now, is
Mhm.
completely this
Ideas.
all of this is just ideas, more ideas, and they're all just like literally these
Just
are all my video
everywhere.
ideas for the next few weeks.
Damn. Mhm.
And I think about them when they hit me, I write them down. And then I basically try to figure out when's the right time to post them and when's the
Mhm.
right time to do them. And that's all I do is just come up with ideas. I put them down and try to figure out when's the best day to actually execute them. And I got some other fun ideas that I've been pitching to some people,
Mhm.
and they've actually like are on board with them. So it's just a matter of like following through and making sure it happens. But yeah, man, I feel like I truly am happier even when a video does bad, because my last 2 videos completely bombed. I was like, damn it, curse you, YouTube algorithm.
Mhm.
Because my last 2 videos bombed, but I wasn't so worried about it because I already know I have other videos in the can that are going to be coming out. And so like
Right.
I recently heard that from a cuz I follow like all these YouTube accounts, and they were saying like big YouTubers, like your most successful YouTubers, they don't get like down in the dumps when a video bumps, or whatever, when a video like
Mhm.
fails or something, because they already have so many other videos that they're
There's
working
more
on.
coming. Mhm.
Right. There's
Mhm.
more coming, and you just never know which video is going to hit. So
Right.
it's one of those things where you just have to keep going because it's a whole thing. Like I've been studying up on it. Don't get me started because I'll keep going forever. All right. Ted Russo here. Like, dude, you know what's crazy? My husband laughs because he was asking me the other day. I was listening to something, right? And he was like, "What are you listening to?" And I'm like, "Oh, it's a podcast." And he's like, "Oh, a podcast about what?" And I'm like, "Oh, it's a podcast about YouTube." And he was like, "You watch podcasts about YouTube?" I'm like, "I watch YouTube videos about YouTube every day.
Really. You just
Every
get
day."
constantly studying.
Yeah,
Mm,
every day. Every day
mm.
I watch podcasts about YouTube, Instagram, and TikTok, and that's literally what I listen to. It's my number one thing that I do.
Sounds brutal.
I enjoy it. Oh my god, I think that could be like my honestly, I think that could be an additional job for me if I trained other people,
Oh, okay. Yeah, see, it's just
like
the
a
same
teacher.
thing. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
All right, we got Ted Rizzo here
Consulting.
who says, "Grab City Pod at Starcast with Will Washington." Yo, the first time you guys did it was very cool.
That was fun. Probably not. I don't think Will is.
He's busy.
Yeah.
He's got an adult job.
Like when we did it before, he had just started. Times are different. Now it's like he's probably going to be doing a pod with them this time, like the unrestricted or something like that. He's just in a different space then, you know?
It's all grown up.
Yeah. Still love
Alexander
him. That's my
Fitzgerald
brother.
says Clark Connors as the wild card. I haven't seen Clark Connors in a minute.
It could be somebody from New Japan. It could be somebody from AEW. I'm excited to see who it is at this point.
We got Ted Ruza here says Keith Lee coming back. Wild card would be lit. Yo, okay, what about All In Keith Lee versus Swerve? The
No,
match
please
finally
no.
happens.
0%. The Keith Lee's been tweeting and he's been back outside, so it's a possibility, but I don't think so at all.
Dave Costier says sitting fourth row. Oh shit, floor. That's nice. Says first time on the floor for a wrestling show. It's Hangman wild card on the show. What are your guys' top 4 matches on the card? I don't think that match is on. Is it on the show?
No, I
The
think they just announced the Osprey and Kevin Knight, and then the Julia and Mercedes are the only ones from the tournament.
Yeah, it'd be sick if they added that though. I think that would be, and it could be added too, only because like Tony tends to do that. He'll add a bunch of matches like
Yeah.
hours before the show. You'll hear it announced.
We still have Collision too, so they could still announce some stuff on that.
Yeah, that's true. Thank you so much, Dave. We got
Mhm.
Luis Arturo Mendez who says, I would pay big money to see Mercedes versus Athena. Yeah, that's why I'm like, the idea of that happening not at a pay per view is wild.
It's probably going to happen on TV at this point.
See, that's wild to me.
Yeah. I mean,
that was the match we were thinking we were going to see at All In.
I know. It won't be the only one, but that one. When is that show? The Nitro beating show. There's a show.
The one where it officially
Spring
surpasses.
Break or whatever.
Yeah, I don't know what the date for that is.
In Boston.
Oh, so that is probably going to be the
that could
one
be
then.
it. Mhm.
Oh, good thinking. Good thinking. Thank you, Luis. We got Matt Logan here says, Hey, Kelly Connection. What's up, Matt? Thank
What's
you
up,
so much
Matt?
for the super chat. We got Brandon Huggins here who says, Hear me out. Okada and Kenny combine titles at All In. Jay White comes back as a heel and beats Kenny at All Out. Big win without being top guy. I think they still got to take a second and build up Jay White in the AEW fans' eyes, because you're going to have people that are like, wait, why Jay White? There's not going to be everyone's going to know his past with New Japan. So, no, you need to build Jay White up for the AEW fans before you do that, I think.
Because I feel like they're like the first part of that is probably going to happen. We're leading to Kenny and Okada in a unification match, but I feel like they're probably going to have Takeshita to be the one to beat the person that comes out of that, you know?
Right. All right. So with that being said, okay, I'm all caught up with the super chats, but now I do want to go ahead and run through the things we didn't talk about really quickly on Dynamite. Timeless Tony Storm gets a win over Penelope Ford. What'd you think of the match, Reg?
I thought Penelope Ford, as we talked about on the show, looked awesome. She has been improving every single match. But like in this match, it particularly felt like she got like the little things. There were some things that I saw in this match. I was like, oh yeah, Penelope Ford just really understands the things now. She took a really great couple bumps in this match. I thought that she was a really good opponent for what we need Tony to do, since Megan Bain's been kind of getting the upper hand on her the last couple weeks. We need Tony to like feel like she's unstoppable, feel like she's the person that should be the world champion going into this match, just setting her up real well. I thought, again, Penelope Ford, great in that position. Megan Bain coming out to confront her looks like $1 million at the end of this match. I think that they have been setting Megan Bain up how they should set up most of their new people. Like, we should feel like, oh yeah, they're in this spot for a reason. We should be giving opportunities to new people. Like, it feels good where they have her at. I feel confident about how they're presenting her in this women's division. But this is all Tony. We know what this is leading to. We know what this is. I thought that it was all really good for all three of these women, honestly.
I agree. Dave here, we didn't answer his last question, by the way, which was, what are your guys' top 4 matches on the card? For Dynasty, for me, number 1 is Kenny, Ricochet, and Speedball Mike Bailey. That's number 1.
Number 1 for me too.
Number 2, I would put Mercedes and Julia Hart. I think that one will be fun. Number 3, I would put Tony Storm and Megan Bain, and 4, Moxley and Swerve.
Number 4? Okay. Wow, I was like, where's she going to put the world title match? She's all number 4.
I'm sorry.
I still have hope for, it's because like if Swerve wins, then like it's all null and void. It doesn't matter. We're celebrating. It's going to be lit. So I'm still going to put that number 1 just because there is a percentage in the world where Swerve could win the triple threat match and then both women's matches after that, both of the women's titles matches.
All right, that's fair. Wait, did you
Yeah.
mention the Kenny match? Yeah, you did, huh?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say there's no
Mhm,
way you don't mention that. Yeah.
mhm.
Thank you so much again to Dave. And we got thank you so much to Matt Logan for sharing this too. The date that you were talking about,
That's
it's
the one.
April 16th, Boston Dynamite. That's the one where there's a
But that's
potential that they
not
can
that
do.
soon from now, though. They have to start getting to the match. I guess they could get to the matches by then.
Yeah, they could get to that like ASAP because
Mhm.
I mean they have plenty, they got Collision. I mean, I would hope that they get to this match because this seems like the perfect date to do that. If not, it kind of feels like dropping the ball a little bit.
Right.
Thank you so much, Matt, for sending that in. All right, with that being said, all right, we need to finish out what was done on AEW. We already talked about MVP and MJF. Big Bill and Brian Keefe won a squash match. Not really much to say about that.
Mhm.
Will Ospreay and Kevin Knight defeated Blake Christian and Lee Johnson. Blake Christian, I thought looked pretty damn good in this matchup. By the way, I was impressed.
Yeah.
I was more impressed in this matchup than I was in a singles match with Will Ospreay, which is weird to say, but I just thought I saw a lot more of Blake Christian in this matchup. And then we found out that Will Ospreay, Kevin Knight are going to be in the Owen and are facing each other.
Yeah, this tag match was really fun. Probably one of the funnest matches of this show. If you're just like, where's the fucking wrestling at? This is where the wrestling was. Yeah, just like you said last week with Kenny Omega and Blake Christian, Kenny fucking ravaged and wrecked Blake pretty good, and you didn't get to see how he really gets down. And I thought this match was way more of a showcase. He hit a lot of his signature spots, a lot of the stuff that gets the heat that Blake Christian gets. He was doing it in this match. Thought Lee Johnson looked awesome also. They look great as a tag team. This is really like, if you want to know who Blake Christian is, last week didn't really show. This showed it, but Ospreay is just on 100. The pop for him coming out was awesome. Everything that, like, he just feels like the top guy. We're talking about him like we talked about on the show for a reason. Like, he's gonna be the world champion. It's just how did they get there? And I thought Kevin Knight looked great in getting the victory and getting to showcase himself on Dynamite and answer the question as to why he is in the match with Will Ospreay. You know.
Facts, facts. All right, Brody King defeated Lance Archer in a meat match where we even had people yelling, meat, 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 meat. Some fun moments in this. What'd you think, Reg?
Big meaty man slapping meat. I thought that Brody King coming through with those chops, those are starting to becoming one of his signatures. Like, what's he gonna do to this guy's chest? How's he gonna give it up? Lance Archer, I think a lot of people, like I say multiple times on this podcast, are big fans of Lance Archer and they want to see him in more positions. And so seeing him on Dynamite, I thought that the crowd was super excited for it, super lit in here. Brody King needs more victories, like you said. He's been racking them up. He's been establishing himself post Alistair being in the company. So especially with him being in the Owen, you got to get him on TV. You got to get him established as somebody. Like, we know he's not going to win this tournament, but he's had such great showings in tournaments, and him being here again is a good idea. Good fun match with Lance Archer. Nothing, not the greatest match you ever seen, not the worst, just like a fun TV match.
Let's Cope versus Claudio Castagnoli, a fun TV match for you. Cope and I know it's a W.
Oh my God. Take some time. Just a slow Cope match. Cope is like, we've been talking about this Christian reunion and possibly being in the tag team. It has to come because these matches are slow and prodding. When it's a main event, it feels even slower. When you're in the guy with the guy like Claudio, who kind of works the slow prodding style anyways, I don't really know if that's the way. Then that spear, I was like, oh my God, what's happening here? But Cope is over. I understand why they're pushing this trios match. FTR had a thing earlier in the show where they're showing some turmoil, so I get it. Those are big ratings, guys. People are still over, so I understand. But the match wasn't the greatest.
No, it wasn't. We were all thinking the same thing when that spear hit, but it is what
Oh,
it is, guys. It was more so the aftermath that we really spent a lot of time discussing. But with that being said, we got a super chat here from Dave Costier who says, guys, Philly is going to be pissed if Swerve
mm-hmm.
loses. Not gonna lie, I'm staying positive. Not just, I mean, Philly obviously being in the
Everybody.
show,
Mm-hmm.
everybody. And it's like, I'm sorry, but this is one of, I don't know. Is this one of those moments where you change your mind or do you continue with the plans that you have in store?
I don't think you want to continue like you were just talking about with the revolution ending. You don't want to continuously have endings like that where it's like we're disappointed because Moxley retained and it wasn't that great. Like if you have three of those in a row, Denise, people are it's gonna mean something. It's gonna fill away. So I think this is time to pivot for sure. Will they though? That's another story for another day.
Right, right. Well, we'll see what happens. I will be here doing the AEW Dynasty watch along. Reg is going to be on vacation, so he will not be here.
Won't be here.
You're leaving me all alone to go watch Jon Moxley retain.
You'll love it.
Do you want me to text you the results or
No, don't
no? Okay.
spoil this. I hate spoilers.
When are you going to watch Dynasty? When you get back then?
Yeah, sometimes.
All
Before
right.
Grapsity at noon on Monday.
That's what I'm saying. I could text you the spoilers, Reg.
No, I don't need spoilers. I'll see it myself.
Okay, then. Fine. Then what if I just text you reactions?
Don't
What
text
if I
me
just
nothing.
write like,
Focus on your show.
what if I write, yo,
Don't.
dude, you won't
Don't.
believe what happened.
Leave me alone. Leave me out of this.
I don't worry. I will let you enjoy your vacation.
I know.
Okay,
I
what if
know.
Shane McMahon comes? Do I message
Ugh.
you?
Yeah, if Shane shows up, I'll take the text message.
All
That's
right, you
it.
guys. With that being said, that is our AEW Dynamite post show for today. As always, thank you guys so much for tuning in. Next week, Reg will be back for the Wednesday post show, and we'll be here chatting
Yep.
We'll be chatting about the fallout of Dynasty. But yeah, until then, Reg, tell the people where they can find you.
At Righteous Reg, wherever, righteousreg.bandcamp.com. If you want to hear some raps, every Saturday I'm on with Philip Lindsay, Grapsity. It won't be on this Saturday because I'll be on vacation. We'll be on this Monday, 12 noon East, 12 noon Pacific. If you want to see your boys, and every Saturday I'm here with Denise. You know what time it is. I appreciate everybody for showing up here, having fun with us. That's it.
Alrighty, everyone. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with us. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Check out the daily content. Check out some of the older videos that we're posting in the week and also some of the upcoming ones. Every day, I promise you, there will be something up here on this channel, wrestling related for you to check out. Thank you guys so much. We'll catch you on the next one. Bye, everyone.